Good evening, sports fans. I know that you're all eager to see the pictures of last week's game and to hear this week's scores. Unfortunately, you've tuned in to a program called Fractured Flickers.
1, 2.
Good evening. Hans Conried here with another half hour of jest and japery aimed at the movies of yesteryear. Like all television performers, we here on Fractured Flickers are always glad to receive your letters and cards. Many of you good people seem genuinely concerned about the future of our program. For example, here's a letter asking why we don't go to an hour. And here's a letter asking why we don't go to 5 times a week. And here's one asking why we don't go to... But I see it's time now for our little soiree to begin. Our first Fractured Flicker is coming up right now. That was a rather unfortunate phrase, wasn't it?
The big contest. Once again, America, it's your chance to win all the things you've never needed. Simple, you bet we are. These people are celebrating the end of what? Here's your first clue. They are eating Kaiser rolls. Here are some more clues. They are celebrating something that began with an aerial attack. In no time at all, Johnny was heading over there, and wives were tearfully bidding farewell to their loved ones. It was man against man, brother against brother, and the entire world was singing, "We won't come home till it's over, over the rainbow." Oh, how I hate to get up in the afternoon, and someday my prince will come. It finally ended in 1918, when the final blow was struck. Yes, these people had something to cheer about. What was it? One final clue. It was the end of WW1. Now, if you think you know the answer, follow these instructions very carefully. Consult your local newspaper and find the coupon in the classified section. Cut out the coupon with a pair of pinking shears and mail the shears to Box 444. If you can't do this, clearly write your answer on a card, attach it to the leg of a carrier pigeon, and send it to Windowsill, New Jersey. And now for a rundown of prizes to last week's winners. To dog catcher Shep Doberman, a new job. To former Olympic swimming champion Bill Cord, a surprise gift. To street cleaner A.K. Bannister, a dirty street. To chili manufacturer Jose Gomez, a little something for his heartburn. To Colonel H.A. Dickinson, his own ladies' room. To Candlestick Parker, a year's supply of Limburger cheese. And a new guitar to Don Quixote. And here is grand prize winner for 8 straight weeks, Bubbles Lamar. Congratulations, Miss Bubbles Lamar. This is Fred Lamar wishing you all good luck and good night.
We had planned at this time to hear a short talk by actor Biff Sturdley, the chairman of the Committee for a Saner Hollywood. His address was to have been entitled, "Actors Are Just Plain Folks." Unfortunately, last night, while Mr. Sturdley was reaching for his sleeping pills, he tripped over his pet iguana and fell into his mink-lined bathtub.
As a public service, Fractured Flickers, in conjunction with National Safety Month, gives you the following tips on safety.
A knife is nothing to fool around with, even if you're an Eagle Scout like this here boy. But if you must use a knife, then be prepared to mend any damage that happens to happen. With the hunting season almost here and the woods full of folks, a good tip is to wear brightly colored stuff so you won't get mixed up with other people. Also, don't shoot at everything that moves. It could be somebody's mother. A fractured flickers expert is always available to show you the proper handling of firearms. Many persons are injured each year just emptying their pockets. And blue stockings can be a problem, too. Many people are bitten each year by seemingly friendly animals. A good way to tell the difference is the friendly ones are wagging their tails a lot, usually. With today's souped-up automobiles and high-speed highways, traffic during the rush hour should be avoided. But if you must drive during these hours, do so as if everyone is nuts, including you. If you're a farmer, you know that the watchword around the farm has to be safety. Yeah. You flyers know a last-minute checkup means a safe flight. And a final tip for teenagers. Don't hitchhike during National Safety Month. Remember, safety belts save lives.
Here's a word for all you he-men out there.
Meet Rox Gundlefinger. He's a lawman. He's tough. Gotta be tough in his game. He looks tough. He acts tough. He shoots tough. He's even a tough lover. At the sight of him, brave men pale visibly. Rox endorses maiden form gun belts.
I'm always in my cups with maiden form.
And now, here are some previews of programs you can expect to see on your television screens shortly. You won't see them, but you can expect them.
Here's a short preview of new shows coming soon from Jay Ward, the king of comedy. First, here's Mr. No-Jack, the story of a greenhorn teacher on his first job at Absorbing Junior High School.
Achtung! All right, I want to hear those heels click. At ease. Smoke if you got 'em.
Mr. No-Jack is just about the most unique new teacher they've ever had at Absorbing Junior High because he's 64 years old, and he'll be able to retire in 26 weeks. The title role is played by lovable Eric von Schweinhut, well remembered by movie fans as the kindly Nazi prison camp commander in Der Fuhrer's Follies. Be with us for all the good-natured fun that happens in episode number 1 when Mr. No-Jack takes his first turn at being recess monitor and really shows the kids who's boss. Now here's a scene from My Favorite Martini showing lovable Uncle Mart up to his old tricks.
Martini, my dear? Try this one. It's 7-1. Chug-a-lug now. How's that grab you, Gladys? Perhaps a little drier, then. Let's try a 12-1. Here, let this one singe your tonsils. Is that better, Still not dry enough, eh? Try a 20-1. That really hit the old spot, eh, Gladys? 20-1 it is, then. I mustn't forget to write that down somewhere. I've done it. I've found the perfect martini, Gladys. Gladys? Gladys?
Unfair exchange. This is the hilarious story of how a typical English royal family sends a typical English princess to live in America with a typical American family.
Yeah.
In return, for which America sends England some obsolete skyboat missiles and enough fuel to get them all the way to Paris. And last, it's that exciting show, Mr. Fred. This here's a cute comedy about a talking rhinoceros and the dumb clod who owns him, played by the ever-popular Lyle Beasley.
Hi there. I'm a talking rhino. That's right. Hey, you guys want to hear a cute story I heard the other day from a white hunter? Listen, this is a good one. It seems there were these two...
Oh, well, it would have made a keen series. These great shows and many more are brought to you by Jay Ward, the king of comedy, who says,
The only ism for me is plagiarism.
Us fairy town smokers would rather fight than switch.
Yeah.
Come on, guys. Let's hear it for our favorite cigarette.
Fairy town, fairy town, fairy town.
And they're wild.
Well, we have a special treat in store for all you music lovers in our audience this evening. For our Fractured Flickers guest is the lovely young singing star of Broadway, motion pictures, and the concert stage, Miss Anna Marie Alberghetti. Welcome, Miss Alberghetti. Aren't you a lovely thing now?
You're pretty, too.
Really? Cute, perhaps? Miss Alberghetti, what are you going to sing for us first?
I beg your pardon?
Your first number, what will it be?
Oh, Hans, I don't quite know how to put this, but I didn't come here to sing. They told me it was just going to be an interview.
Well, of course it is. But just in case, you know, we're going to bring in a few musicians later.
How many musicians?
The Los Angeles Philharmonic.
Oh, that's too bad.
Well, it needn't be. Couldn't you just give us one or two little numbers? It doesn't have to be much. The Bell song from Lock Me, the Mad Scene from Lucia
Oh,
Hans,
Hans, those are not in my repertoire.
Well, you know, fake it.
Hans, this is a little embarrassing for me, but my fee for a concert is a little more than what your producer offered me for an interview.
Well, how much was that?
He offered to pay my car fare.
Clear from Beverly Hills? Well, he always was a fool for a pretty face.
Both ways, too.
He really tossed his cap over the windmill this time, huh?
Hans, I'd really love to help you out, but I just don't see any way to how to do it.
Well, I promised our Fractured Flickers fans a musical portion of our program tonight, and by Godfrey, they are going to get it. Miss Alberghetti, this is my salary for the entire program. Now, I am going to endorse it over to your favorite charity, and I want you to take this and sing away until it's all used up, every bit of it.
Oh, Hans, this is a lovely gesture.
Oh.
All right, I'll do it.
Oh.
La ci darem la mano, la 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 la.
That's it?
That's it, Hans.
You used up the whole thing?
Well, actually, I threw in those la la las at the end for free.
Miss Alberghetti, I see that we live in entirely different worlds, and I can only conjecture which is the real one. However, thank you for being with us this evening, however silently, and the best of luck to you, although I don't think you're going to need it.
Good night, Hans. And would you please say good night to the boys in the band for me?
The boys in the band. Oh, that orchestra. Harry, would you call the musicians' union and stop the... It's too late. Oh, we can't let it go to waste, can we? me. Old man Ribber, old man Ribber. Here's a telegram we've just received from one of our sponsors, Hans Connery, Fractured Flickers, etc. When you first offered us your program for sponsorship, our reaction was that the humor was too subtle and sophisticated for a mass audience. Stop. At that time, we suggested that you take a little bit of the high polish off the show. Stop. You have succeeded beyond our wildest expectations. Stop. Well, isn't that nice? Or is it?
Ladies and gentlemen, the world's foremost astrologist, Heavenly Day.
When one contemplates a dual comprehensive horoscope and seeks astro delineation, one looks to the stars, for it is the galaxies and the very planets themselves that control the destinies of man. In other words, the heavenly bodies. Let's take a look at the signs of the zodiac. Today's horoscope is for all those born under the sign of Taurus, the bull. If you're Taurus, you're health conscious and keep yourself fit at all times. You're friendly, able to take criticism, a success in your field of endeavor. You make friends easily, and you're a connoisseur of good things to eat.
And now, the incomparable Heavenly Day will predict your future.
As I look to the stars, they tell me you will take an ocean voyage. The hard way. You will attend parties and become a heavy social drinker. You will have a lover's quarrel. Your brother's marriage will fail because his wife is a dummy.
You have just heard the forecast for those of you born under the sign of Taurus the Bull. And now, a final word from Heavenly Day. No, I guess there won't be a final word.
We'd like to thank all of you who've been kind enough to send us clippings from your local newspapers about our show. I'd like to read just a few of the words that critics are saying about Fractured Flickers. From, very, on, and the. And there you have it. I'd read a few of the other words, but this is a family show.
Another generous Fractured Flickers public service to help you pick your college. Look well, America, for these vibrant, eager, alert, active youngsters are this year's high school graduating class. What is it that these level-headed youths all hunger for? What mark must they hit? Higher education. Young people of today boldly step forward with a clear view toward a college education. But it is becoming more and more difficult each year to gain entrance to America's colleges. That is why millions of sober-minded students quietly contemplate the problem alone, then discuss it with their parents.
Hey, Mumsy, what college you sending me to?
Orton, baby, let's see what them Fractured Flickers people say.
And using his head, a Fractured Flickers researcher gives us a unique view of colleges and universities all over the nation. The result is that when your children travel off to college, not only will they know just where they are going, but also just what they should take when they get there. And they take plenty. So stand by, young America, and jot down our recommendations. It's Loyola, you idiot, not Lola. The USC Trojans offer a top dental school as well as the best in aerodynamic study. For those interested in both subjects, you can have your teeth ripped out by hanging from an airplane with a strap in your mouth. Farther up the coast, Stanford University is known best for its poised, well-adjusted, good-looking girls. For the average, ordinary, everyday, normal girl with an IQ of 175 and a waistline of 175, wearing the big Stanford S will come naturally. Attention getter Linus Pauling is not the only attraction at Caltech. They also have their famed Jet Propulsion Lab, and we recommend it. But for the true egghead, Purdue is best known for its study of living things. At Indiana U, chemistry professor Bunsen Bleecker vacillates between anger and intense pride since his students have learned from him so well. They are forever shrinking up the dean of men and stuffing him in a bottle. For a language school, we recommend NYU, where there are now so many foreign students, English has been forbidden. Our selection for best dressed school is Montana State, where most students have their clothes tailor-made.
A little off the sleeves, light lapels, a couple inches off the back. It's a perfect fit.
Best student advisor relationship, Florida U. Finest spring student riots, Yale. Most traditional, Alabama. Strictest athletic training discipline, Rutgers. And for that brotherly spirit that comes with any religious school, Notre Dame. Finally, for best food, we recommend the Student Union Restaurant at the University of Ohio, where currently they celebrate 37 straight years with a case of botulism a week. And so, college applicant, now you are ready to write to to your college.
Gee, Mumsy, there's just one problem. I followed Fractured Flicker's preparatory school recommendations, and I can't write.
That's okay, honey. I can't read.
Hey, culture fans! Next week in this time slot, the Fractured Flickers Philharmonic, under the direction of guest conductor Walter Hogwash, brings you a special performance of George Frederick Handel's Water Music. That's live on this channel next week. The cultural event of the decade, brought to you direct from Marineland in beautiful watercolor. See Misha Dambuster, percussion virtuoso, reach the pinnacle of his art in the smashing climax. Be sure to catch this moving performance. There won't be a dry eye in the house.
Here's a very nice letter from one of our viewers, Mrs. R.L. of Ontario. Mrs. L. says, I know that you have a heavy schedule of motion picture and television appearances, concert readings, and lecture tours. Doesn't this upset your home life? Bless you. No, Mrs. L. I always arrange my schedule so as to have plenty of time to spend at home with my wife and 4 children, Trilby, and with... No, it's right on the tip of my tongue.
Scientists call this spinning planet Earth. It is composed of vast areas of dry land and wet land. There are 100 million people here, 90% of which are gainfully unemployed. The remaining 10% work for a living at odd jobs. It is they whom we shall examine tonight. This man has 342 children. They all have tails. He is the noted animal trainer C. Shaky Maxwell. Shaky's animal compound is located next to the San Diego Zoo. Shaky, however, specializes in animals that are out of the ordinary, seldom seen, odd, downright peculiar. For example, a 2-toed bow wow, a 1932 sedan, a black pillow ripper. Small wonder that last year the Animal Institute of Venezuela gave its Man of the Year award to the late Shaky Maxwell. Sports fisherman Winter Hugo Halter is our next odd jobber. Most fishermen like to brag about the one that got away, but not Hugo Halter. He likes to brag about the one he keeps. Here you see him diving for a crab, and he catches one. He then performs the traditional crab catcher's fire dance. Keeping only the select crabs, he throws the rejects into the sea. This is Cookie Carmichael, a wizard with a gizzard, probably the greatest female chef of our time. 22 hours a day, she personally selects each ingredient that goes into Carmichael cookies. Cookie lovers from all over the world come to get their cookies at the Carmichael factory. It is pure delight to bite into one of those tasty, crumby cookies, especially the children. Right, kids?
No!
There is not much that Siamese twins can do in this world, but the Bear brothers, Teddy and Grizz, have succeeded in the odd occupation of professional applauding. Hiring out to theaters, they spark the performance with thunderous applause. Occasionally, Grizz will disapprove of what he sees and refuse to applaud. But Teddy overcomes the problem with the aid of a helping hand.
Thanks, Bub.
You have just seen odd people and their odd occupations. And who gets this week's Odd Jobber Award? You guessed it, Winter Hugo Halter, shown here on the lookout for our field representative and receiving his trophy.
Well, we had a pretty rundown show to start out with, but I'm happy to say this just about winds it up.
1, 2.
this is Hans Conried saying good night for Fractured Flickers, and reminding you that the flying shuttle was invented by John Kay in 1733. Makes you feel warm all over, doesn't it?